Guten Tag guys, and welcome to 9 more Hunt Showdown tips. I'll also be adding some more insight into a few tips from the old video, but that'll be at the end of this video because I know you want the shiny new thing first. If you like this kind of content, let me know and I might make some more. If you're always playing solo or with the same 1 or 2 friends, then this tip is probably not for you, as your match MMR will be quite static. If, however, you play with more people of differing skills, then this tip will help. It comes down to adjusting your expectations of the enemies depending on the MMR. On numerous occasions I have been playing 3D chess when it comes to tactics and hunt, while the enemies were not even playing checkers. But I overthought things to such an extent that I did not expect the most obvious move and died. This mostly happens when after a time of playing 6-star lobbies I play with 3-star friends, and you might think, easy. But no. The playstyle is so different that I often get killed more in the 3-star lobby than against 6 stars. I mean, it also might be partially due to the fact that I am cocky, but nevertheless. The reverse happens as well though. If you're used to 3-star lobbies and then you're in a 5 or 6-star lobby, adjust your playstyle. Here I think the main things to watch out for are that the chances of your enemies making mistakes are smaller, and if you are in a shitty situation, they know. And if they are in a bad position, you need to take advantage of it as fast as possible, because they also know that they are in a shitty situation.
They don't know that we know they know we know.
Same disclaimer as the last tip, only applies if you're playing with different people. Here I would not say it comes down to MMR or the skill of the teammate, but rather about how they like to play. If you are a team, play as a team. And that often means that everybody has to adjust their playstyle at some point. A super sneaky, well thought out flank is not useful if your mates die halfway through your rotation. And on the other hand, trying to push to take advantage of a 2v3 is in vain if your mates are behind and you're in a 2v1. Ultimately, this also comes down to communication, but be aware of how your mates usually play. If you and your usual partner have a new mate, he probably should adjust to you a bit, but if you join a new group of bandits, then you need to adjust your playstyle to them. Despite the same name, this is not an add-on to the meat shield tip from the last video. I just find the term meat shield too good and will take any opportunity to use it. Oftentimes, hunters with some health chunks lost will play much more passively, and in many cases this makes perfect sense, because "I'm one shot bro" is not just true, it's also scary for the guy missing the bar. Just keep in mind that if your full health buddy or buddies die, your chances are even worse. So rotating, pushing or peeking with your partner is oftentimes a good choice, even if you're missing a bar. Especially in a do or die situation. Even if you're almost to 0 health, your damage output remains the same as a full hunter, and you're another target for the enemies, adding to your team's overall shoot-eating capabilities. I'm not saying to be reckless, although that is what I usually do. This tip also applies if you're missing some health but could just heal, but your body needs your help right now. Sometimes healing is not the first priority. Don't try to communicate, because if it's possible to postpone the fight until you healed, that's better of course. This tip might or might not be super helpful depending on your playstyle, but here we go. I think that maximizing the amount of different ammo types you carry is a good thing in most cases. Sure, you might want more ammo for your Krak silencer and thus use an uppercut, or you might want more ammo in your Mainyard sniper silencer and thus carry a PAX, or in your Vetterli Wait, is this just a silencer thing? Nope. Same for Mosing or even for the Afto, you want to maximize ammo for your main gun, right? But you know what sucks more than not having any more ammo in your main gun? Not having any more ammo in anything. With the not so recent changes to ammo supply, making it so that you get no more ammo out of crates even when you have 2 of the same type, combining different ammo types makes a lot of sense I think. Like I said, depending on your playstyle or your loadout, this tip might or might not apply, and maybe you just carry an ammo box around with you and then this is a moot point. But I think in general it makes sense to think about it and at least consider the possibility of bringing different ammo types. Ultimately, if you want to get better at hunt, you want to get better at killing hunters. Neither the normal AI nor the bosses are a huge task, so the main difficulty of hunt is fighting other hunters. And the best way to get better is fighting. Don't shy away from fights, search them. Don't run away every time you can. Fight. You will die, but you will also kill and you will get better. Just like you can't strategize your way to a good physique without horse-cocking some weight around, and you can't find the Higgs boson without shooting particles at each other with absurdly large energies, you can't get better in Hunt unless you are hunting. And by hunting, I mean hunting hunters. Considering that the last tip pretty much came down to don't be a baby, fight, this seems like a strange tip, doesn't it? Well, I guess it is. The don't fight, in my eyes, applies if an enemy team has a shitty playstyle that you don't want to reward. I guess this somewhat connects to the last point from the other tips video about certain playstyles sucking. And as a commenter said,
yes, it is annoying, but you can do it. What are you gonna do about it? Complain is all there is left for you.
Well, I disagree that complaining is all there is left to do, but I definitely will complain, don't you worry. But I will also try to punish the playstyle. And I think the best way to do that is to let them waste their time for nothing. If you're dealing with snipers bush camping, then often they are so afraid of getting within 50 meters of you that at some point there will be a window where you can just leave. And if you're dealing with shotgun campers in the lair, let them have the bounty. Honestly, if they think that the bounty alone counts as a win, so be it. If they waste 40 minutes for nothing but a token, that makes me happy already. Don't reward shitty playstyles with kills. And by kills, I mean your deaths, their kills. Now just to be clear, it's not always clear what exact playstyle the enemies have. So don't leave just because you heard a shotgun in the lair and they are not rushing out there right away. But if after 5 minutes of you going around, looking in every window, maybe even going into parts of the boss lair, they did nothing but sit and wait, chances are they're camping in the corner with a shotgun, and leaving is a good option for you. If you and your team died, chances are you made a mistake. Might be as simple as just missing your shots, or might have been bad positioning or bad awareness. If you died, then try to think of what was the main mistake you made. Pretty simple. Like every gamer, I get upset sometimes when things don't work out. And because I know that the phrase, "it's just a game," doesn't really help you when you're tilted and salty, here is another way you might get untilted. Meme it. If you play to win and you lose, it sucks. If you choose a stupid loadout or have a stupid plan, and you make even the smallest step towards winning, like getting a single kill, that's already very satisfying. Plus, are you gonna be mad you died to long ammo if you ran a hammer and an axe? I didn't think so. Be sure to coordinate with your team though, as you might think that the axe kill was worth dying for, but your friend with the Mosin outside the compound might disagree. Whatever tactics, weapons or moves you use, if it works out, it often does so because of one of two reasons. It's either good or unexpected. Frag, good. Crack, good. Good. Trap at the entrance, good. But even not so good stuff can be good if no one expects it. So try out some very off-meta stuff and see how it works. Now, that can be very stupid positioning in a fight, that can be traps in the middle of nowhere, or that could be the flash bomb that got nerfed so hard that I have not seen it, other than in my own hands, for about a year. And no one expects something they have not seen in a year. Or the dark satchel thing, whatever it's called, that I honestly forget exists unless I saw it that day. I ran past one during the event and I heard the noise, and I kid you not, I was so confused I thought that my Hunt audio was bugged, because this thing had totally left my conscience. Now onto some things that I want to add to the tips from the 13 tips video. This tip was mainly meant for when you are cruising around the bayou, getting clues and trying to find the boss. Once you're at the boss compound or at any location where you're pretty sure you will fight, the reasons to kill or not to kill AI change. Kill all the monsters that might become a problem for you, say a hive that is not aggroing right now, but might if you move 10 meters. On the other hand, you need to also keep in mind that some AI might also be helpful and can distract the enemies. But if you know that you have to fight at a certain location, then getting the annoying monsters out of the way ahead of time is certainly one less thing you have to worry about during the fight. Here I have nothing to change or to add onto the tip. I just want to say that with the new-ish burn and necro changes, I think this tip is even better than before. Really, once you leave your dead mate behind, there is almost no chance of him standing up again. unless you clutch that shit and the bounty is still around. Watching my buddy kill 3 guys solo only to realize that I am no longer rare nor medium rare, but well done, sucks for both of us. In my mind, winning but not being able to get my mates, even though I won the fight, is sucky. If the bounty was not involved, for example, then you just have no way of getting your mates, and that sucks. I would rather try to clutch it from the start for the chance to get them up, or die trying. I can't say for certain that your chances of winning are greater this way, but certainly the time the guy on the ground loses is way less. If the bounty is still here and you can in theory Red Skull revive, sure, maybe burning is not quite as sucky, but I would not plan my tactics around the Red Skull revive because usually that doesn't pan out. On this point, I gotta say, the new changes really made picking up the bounty way less of an annoyance. I can dark side to find clues or even to Necro without losing seconds. You can check if hunters are near without knowing where they exactly are without losing seconds, or have this as a last resort if you're already out of seconds. I still like not having a bounty a bit more, but as the bounty is the price you want to get, I think it's absolutely okay for it to be a slight inconvenience. So yeah, good job devs, and tip partially withdrawn. With all that being said, I hope you liked the new tips and maybe also the add-ons. Honestly, I think that the first 13 tips were probably a bit better, but also kind of makes sense because it would be weird if I would come up with better tips now, I think. Anyway, this war's für heute and thanks for watching.
Alter, du geile Sau!
Alex, Junge.